Okay, here we're going to talk about Streptococcus agalacteria. So we say group B. Wait a second. Group B, Streptococcus agalacteria. Okay, this is belonging to Rebecca Lansfield group B. Same thing, it's gram positive. Chain, same thing, it's gram positive, coxal, and chain. Now this is also beta hemolytic. Now, what is the key importance for Streptococcus agalacteria? There is one sentence can describe that. Is pregnant woman at 35 to 37 weeks have to do a screening test. So otherwise, the newborn baby will have ammonia, meningitis, and the bacteremia. Okay, so that's why meningitis, when we say if it's 0 to 2 months, it's Streptococcus agalacteria caused by. Okay, so that's something for group B Streptococcus. Now, here is something, same thing as Streptococcus ammonium and the virulent Streptococcus. For Streptococcus pyogenes and the Streptococcus agalacteria, they are all beta hemolytic. Both of them are beta hemolytic. Both of them are gram-positive chain and the coxal. So how we differentiate? Now, in the clinical area, we also going to do the same thing using a disc. So this one, we put called A disc. The components of A disc is basic tracing. Now what happened is Streptococcus pyogenes. If it's Streptococcus pyogenes, it will be sensitive or susceptible to the A. So here will be transparent zone. So which means it's susceptible to A disc, to basic tracing. Now for, this is group A, okay, which is called, you can say GAS. Now for the right side, if you have a GBS, group B, Streptococcus agalacteria, it will be resistant. So GBS, which is Streptococcus agalacteria, that will be resistant to the A disc, which is basic tracing. So clinical area, we use this to diagnose that and to do a very quick test. Okay, so remember, the pregnant woman, 35, 37 weeks, you have to do a screening test. If you find something, you have to do antibiotic treatments. So otherwise, newborn baby will have ammonia, meningitis, and the bacteremia. Now, by the way, we also got to mention the group D. Group D is Enterococcus faecium. this is gamma hemolytic, which means nothing happens. You can understand it's non-hemolytic. Okay, now this guy, most of the time, what happened is actually for UTI, will cause kind of urinary tract infection. Now, how we diagnose this? There's a very characteristics for this pathogen. It will grow in the bile salts, esculin solution, or agars. And they also will turn black as a colony, will turn black because the esculin will become esculitin, and the metallic ingredients in the agar turns black. Okay, so and also the bile salts. This is a little bit of salt solution. The salt there usually will kill in bacteria, but the Enterococcus faecium can survive in a bile salt solution. So a little bit halophilic. So this is something else for group D, Enterococcus faecium. So again, we mention one more time. Based on the Rebecca-Lansfield group, we do a serological typing based on antibody-antigen reaction from the Streptococcus so-called cell wall structure extract. Then we do a test on the rabbit. We can be differentiate them into group A, Streptococcus pyogenes, group B, Streptococcus agalacteria, and group D, Enterococcus. Now, when we talk about it before is Streptococcus ammonia. This guy is, we say, group Ni, so no group. Why? Because there is no M protein. No M protein in cell wall. So you cannot do the test, which means you won't get an extract from this Streptococcus. So you cannot do the Rebecca-Lansfield group, the antibody-antigen classification. That's why Streptococcus ammonia, we say group Ni, there's no M protein, we don't categorize it into the Rebecca-Lansfield group. Okay, so just to let you know about that. Because lots of the textbooks, they say group A, group B, group D, but they did not mention that. I just let you know the detail. Now, by the way, Rebecca-Lansfield, her name is American microbiologist, just back in about like 100 years ago. She's very famous in this area. Her most contribution is the classification of clinical pathogen of Streptococcus. Okay, so that is for group B Streptococcus and the group D Streptococcus, Enterococcus faecium. Now, long time ago, Enterococcus faecium, we also belong into Streptococcus. Later on, they separate. Okay.